And so I want you to think about pursuing the dream like the space shuttle launch. We don't just show up one day and hop in the shuttle and they go. No. There's so many things that go into the launch of a space shuttle. So here's what I want you to do. The start of the pursuit today means I begin the preparation process. So let's look at the areas of preparation. Okay. First is the mental. I've got to get clear on, is in fact this dream that I have something that I am purposed to do? Is it in my sweet spot? We've got the Get Clear career assessment for you if you're not sure. Get clear by talking to people that have done it, that are doing it. Whatever it takes mentally, you've got to get 100% clear that this in fact is what I must pursue. I did not say get 100% clear on the path. That doesn't exist. But we can be absolutely clear that this is the mountain we need to climb. So this is mentally, I've got to get clear. Secondly, emotionally, I've got to commit. Emotionally, I've got to get that conviction. This is where I must do it. You go from I could, I should, I must. And so the mental is I get clear that yes, that's the mountain. And now emotionally, I've got to commit. I got to commit. I'm convicted now. I must do this. Third, I begin to look at my financial situation. You cannot take on something this big, pursuing your purpose, doing what you were created to do without looking at your financial picture. That's why I'm so thrilled to be a part of Ramsey Solutions. The leading financial resource in the world is this company, helping millions and millions and millions of people get out of debt. As Dave Ramsey, the founder and my mentor, said a million times, if you live like no one else, later you can live and give like no one else. You know, we could also say, and he and I do say, if you live like no one else financially and on purpose, you can live and give and work, right? Hello, your work is a way of giving yourself away. And so you've got to look at your financial picture. Am I in debt? How much debt? I got to get rid of this debt. This debt's holding me back. Not just financially, it's holding me back vocationally, professionally. So I look at what is it going to cost me to do this thing, to get qualified to do what I know I was born to do. And then relationally, got to get that support team, that home team. I love sports. I love the rich analogies that we can draw from sports. And I can tell you that my home team, my wife, Stacy, my 3 kids, Ty, Chase, and Josie, my parents, my in-laws, I would say very close friends are on that home team. Do I have the support from the home team that I need? I've seen countless dreams never launch because of the perceived or real lack of support from the home team. It's real. Well, I got to move, and my spouse isn't willing to move. Got to move. I know what I got to do, but my parents really want us to stay here because of the grandkids, and I don't want to let them down. I mean, I've heard these calls. This isn't a minority of people. This happens a lot. So when we look at the mental, the emotional, the financial, and the relational preparation that must be done to be able to truly step out. You can have all the conviction in the world, but if your finances are a mess and you're just trying to make it paycheck to paycheck and keep your nose above water, you are going to be limited into how much you can actually do. If you don't have the spousal support or the other family and friend support, and they're actually not just not supporting, but they're actively creating doubt and stoking fears, you're not going to be able to go. You just won't. So, one more time. When is the right time to pursue the dream? Now. Now, we've got the 7 stages, the very clear path. I write about it in the brand new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. You can pre-order it now. We unpack it. There is a clear path. I can guide you there. But before we get on the path, We start pursuing the dream by preparing ourselves for the journey. And that's how you do it right there. 844-747-2577 is the phone number, 844-747-2577. All right, let's get to the phones. Fort Worth, Texas is where we're going to start. And Lauren joins us there. Lauren, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken. I'm so excited to talk to you.
Well, I'm excited to talk to you. What's going on?
So the short version of my question is, what is the best way to ask a client for career advice? And I can expand on that if you need me to.
Yeah. Tell me what career advice you're looking for and how this client can help.
Sure. So I've been in the same industry for 15 years. It's kind of a niche industry, so I won't go into detail. But
Okay.
I work in client services on the vendor side of our industry, and I know exactly what I want to do. I want to go to the client side, and I want to support vendor relationships on the client side. So this particular client is someone that I really admire. They have made the switch from the vendor side to the client side themselves. And they work for a large tech company that I would just love to get into, would love to get on this person's team. But I guess first I just want to ask his advice on, what do you recommend? What skills do I need? What experience do I need to make this switch? But I want to do it in a way where it's not a conflict of interest. I don't want him to think that I don't enjoy working for my employer, because I do.
Then just say it exactly the way you're saying it to me. You're doing a lovely job. The only question I'll be more specific in a second, but the only question I have is the conflict of interest. Is there a possible conflict of interest?
I wouldn't think so.
I don't think so.
I would just have to review. Yeah, I would have to review maybe NDAs and contracts I've signed to see if I can have this conversation. But
I don't. Now, listen, I can tell you that right now. They cannot. No document in the world that you sign is going to prohibit you from having a conversation with a human being and getting advice on your steps. You're not giving away trade secrets. You're not even competing. If you left to go join them, it's not even a competing position.
Right.
So, okay, we got that settled. So you're not doing anything wrong. So here's how you approach it. And you basically laid it out. You go, basically, this is your outline. You ready? This is an outline. You put the words on this. I'm just going to give you the bones. But you're going to say, hey, I really admire you. I like working with you, but I admire you. And I got to tell you, I'm very intrigued by the path that you took. Now, while I love my current company and I enjoy the work, as I've gotten to know you and work with you and I've watched your journey, I think I want to take the same path. But I'd love to talk to you more in detail about it and get your knowledge on how you did it, and then get your wisdom on what you think might be the best path. Because I got to tell you, with no pressure on this at all, I would be even willing to work for you if I felt like this was something that I could confirm. But in the confirmation process, I just want your wisdom and knowledge. Would you be willing to talk with me about it?
That's great. Now, in a normal world, I'd love to have this conversation with this person over drinks during a work visit, but I can't do that right now. So,
because you're not allowed to travel?
No. What do you think is the best way to approach that if I can't do it in person?
How far away are they?
Pretty far, over 1,000 miles.
What's keeping you from personally just paying for a ticket and flying and going and seeing them in person?
Absolutely nothing.
Well,
it's a great idea.
Well, you are still free. And so if this matters that much to you and you're willing to put skin in the game and, then go fly and take a day off, take a vacation day. Or go meet with them in person. Nothing keeping you from doing that. The company doesn't have to pay for it. In fact, I think you'll feel better doing it on your own, is my take. Now, look, if you decide after you get off the phone call with me and go, it's a little too expensive, I don't know what I want to do, then do a Zoom call. Everybody does the Zoom. I do very few of the Zooms because I just love the personal contact. So I really like your take on this. I love knee to knee, eyeball to eyeball. That's my jam. So just do it yourself. Thanks for the call. You got this, Lauren. 844-747-2577 is the number. Let's go to Denver, Colorado. Nick is there. Nick, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Nick.
So I'm a federal government worker, and I don't know if you heard yesterday, but Biden said that he given a vax mandate, no option to opt out the test, no religious opt out, and 75 days to do it or you'll be fired.
Yeah.
I'm just really shook up about that because I'm still working the baby steps, and I do want to progress in a different career than I'm in right now. Right now, I'm safeguarding airplanes, and I really want to get into broadcast and documentary film. But it's this obstacle that's making me concerned about it, and how do I navigate navigate from here so I can still stay on the plan to get out of debt.
You absolutely can. You absolutely can still stay on the baby steps plan to get out of debt. Put that emergency fund in place, begin investing, and just walk through our 7 baby steps from Ramsey Solutions to live like no one else. But to work like no one else, you can do this too. It is going to require some patience, but I got to tell you, I think this is the nudge out of the nest that you've been needing. You got 75 days to replace your income is the way I look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 75 days. This is the hottest job market we've ever seen. There are companies that are paying college tuition. There are companies that are issuing signing bonuses. There are companies that are desperate for talent. You have talent. If you've got to move into a day job that gives you the same amount of money you've been making for the federal government or more, and I think the more is a absolutely viable possibility, that you got a great chance of making more money. That in itself will speed up your debt snowball journey and pay off the debt. And it allows you to go, okay, I'm making more money. I'm going to get out of debt faster. And as a result of that, I'm going to be able to cash flow the getting qualified that I'm going to need. What qualifications do I need? What experience will I need to step into video and film and documentaries and stepping into that industry, the broadcasting or movie making or whatever that industry, whatever we want to call that. So it really is about getting stable and then start stepping towards that. And so I teach you the 7 stages. Get clear. I think you're pretty clear. And I think if there's any clarity left for you, it's what's the best way to get in? What do I need to do to get qualified? And so now we're going to eventually start the process of getting qualified. And if you have to delay getting qualified to finish getting out of debt, that's okay, because that's still going to be there. So I hope that gives you. What's that?
Should I still apply for some of these places that I don't need all the qualifications?
Yes. If you can get in the industry and you don't need a bunch of qualifications and it meets your financial needs, yes. We got 75 days. At least Uncle Joe gave you 75 days.
Yeah.
So you got 75 days. Go.
Right, 75 days.
I love it. I love a deadline. Deadlines are fascinating motivators, right? They're extrinsic motivators, but you got all the intrinsic motivation you need, the internal motivation. You know what you want to do, why you want to do it. Let's go, man. You got any other questions?
No, thank you.
Yeah, hey, go out there right now, and I mean, I'd be looking for anything in your industry or outside the industry, whatever's the best move for you now. But you got this, man. Folks, I listen, I'm going to tell you something. If you've got a few more steps, that being financial and getting an educational or experiential steps that will get you qualified to do what you want to do, can I just tell you that you moving on from where you are now to a better paying job that can fast forward everything, that's a brilliant move right now. You're not there for 10 years. You may be there for a year or 2. So if I'm already going, well, it's going to take me a little bit of time, I'd be looking in this marketplace right now. It's so hot out there. And I would just make the move. I mean, companies are looking for talent. They'll train you. So here's what I'm addressing. Do I believe in the power of the day job to get you to the dream job? Abso-freaking-lutely I do. I sold sponsorships and exhibit booths, folks. In my little 2-person company, me and my wife, Stacy. That's what I did while I was getting into radio. Okay, so there's no passion in that work, but I didn't need passion in that work. I knew what I was passionate about. I knew what the dream job was. And so many times I've got to be in a day job, and it is the day job. Listen to me, folks. It is the day job that is the platform by which I will step into the dream job at times. Not always, but it is certainly the platform by which I will step onto the ladder that I will climb to the dream job. So let's not poo-poo the day job. And a lot of times we just need a mindset shift to go, wait a second, it's not my dream job. It's not even in the field I want to be in, but it's a really good job right now, and it's allowing me to get out of debt, or it's allowing me to cash flow my get qualified stage. Come on. I'd jump in a second if it was me today. If it was about making more money, as we call here at Ramsey Solutions, a bigger shovel. If it was about getting a bigger shovel to be able to dig faster, deeper, stronger, I'd jump in 2 seconds. Well, Ken, what's somebody going to say if I've only been in a place for a year? Who gives a crap what they're going to say? These millennials, they're changing jobs every year. You're not an indentured servant where you got to work for 7 years to pay off debt. Let's go. I've said this before on the show. I love sports. I'm a big sports mania. I love it. Well, we don't consider it unethical when a coach is at a school for 2 or 3 years, gets a great win-loss record, and then a bigger school comes along with more prestige and more money, and that coach leaves and breaks his contract. They buy him out of the contract, and he goes and takes another job. It's not unethical. Now, we got fan bases that get all mad about it, but it's not unethical. What is that coach doing? They're taking the elevator. So why can't you do it? I mean, the greatest college football coach of all time, Nick Saban. Guy left broken hearts everywhere he was. He goes to Michigan State, turns Michigan State around. Michigan State thinks, oh, we're finally going to be the big boy program in Michigan. We're going to beat Big Brother Michigan. And what does Nick Saban do? He crushes it. And his agent's out there calling everybody. LSU comes calling, big-time SEC program. What happens? Nick goes, bye, Felicia. And he's gone, leaving broken Spartan hearts everywhere. They all mad at him. What does he do? Goes to LSU. What's he do? Turns LSU around, wins the national championship. All these Alabama people and boosters go, well, wait a second. We don't like getting beat by LSU. We're Alabama. So we're going to back a Brinks truck up to his yard in LSU, and we're going to offer him a job. Right? Actually, I got that out of line. He went to Miami, went to the Miami Dolphins, right? And that didn't work. Then Alabama, you know what I mean? But the Miami fans got mad too. But the point is, listen, you don't owe anybody a life of average. All right. That's a fun little rant there. Anytime I can work in college football into any kind of content, it's always better. It's always better. So, yeah, Caitlin back there directing today. She gave me one of these. Put your mic on, Caitlin. She's filling in for Nathan today. What's your team? Oh, she's a Bulldog. Go Dogs. All right, very nice. That's very fun. I did not realize that. It's very, very exciting. All right, here's what we're going to do. We got to do a very quick break. We got to pay the bills. My kids need shoes. You know how that goes. And then we'll be right back. When we do, we're going to look at some shocking data that addresses the entire mission of the Ken Coleman Show and you. This is the Ken Coleman Show.
Our world is changing, but so are we. Now, we see a smile through someone's eyes. We conquer our struggles and cherish each moment because we're shielded through faith and assured by hope. And greatest of all, we love. The world is different, but so are we.
All right, welcome back to the Ken Coleman Show, where we help you discover what you were born to do, and then we help you build a strategy, a plan, so that you can walk that clear path to working like nobody else, to living like nobody else, living and working on purpose, where income and impact are achieved. You want this income, you want the impact too. You want to provide, but you also want to contribute. That's why we wrote the new book, From Paycheck to Purpose. I'll just mention it very briefly. Of course, it's on pre-order right now. You can pre-order it at a really special price of $20, and you're going to get a whole bunch of goodies: the ebook, the audiobook read by me, the Get Hired course, resume templates, so much stuff, nearly $200 in value. You can also get it in a bundle with my Get Clear career assessments. It really walks you through stage one, getting clear. Ken, how do I know my talent, my passion, my mission? We got an assessment. It's blowing people's minds. Go get it, kencoleman.com. You can bundle it for $30. You get the book and all those goodies I mentioned, plus the assessment for $10. It's normally a $30 purchase price. So there you go, kencoleman.com. All right, I mentioned before the break that we're going to get to the news here. And it's a startling piece of data that I'm actually kind of excited about. But it's amid the Great Resignation, where a lot of people are resigning. And we've also got this, they're pursuing new things. But we've also got so many jobs out there, and we don't have people flooding back to work yet. We'll see what happens in the days ahead. All said is that this is a great season of change for people. But a lot of you are scared of change, and one of the reasons you're scared of change is the actual application and putting yourself out there. It's like work dating, right? It's like, ugh, oh my gosh, it's so painful. I got to do all these resumes. I got to put them out there. That takes time, and then I don't hear anything back. It's just brutal. That's why I'm partnering with ZipRecruiter.com. There's 52 more jobs posted online than there was in February of 2020. They're everywhere. The jobs are there. So here's what ZipRecruiter does. As the number one rated job site in the U.S., they've got the technology, the prowess. They know what they're doing. They're going to be your personal recruiter. They do all the hard work. It's a one-click application process. Then they start pitching you to jobs that match up with your profile. And it's absolutely free. It's the best way to get hired. Takes a lot of the stress out of the job hunting. They give you all kinds of updates when people are looking at you and they want to talk to you. The companies go direct to you. So it's free. Did I mention that? Oh yeah, it's free. I don't know why you wouldn't put this in your tool belt. ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. It's ZipRecruiter.com/Ken. Go, go, go. All right, let's do this. It's time for In the News. Okay, CNBC headline. Amid the Great Resignation, just 7% of Americans say they have their dream job. That is a really, really low number. That just means that we've got a lot of work. We've got a lot of work to do. So a new report by Moneypenny found that a whopping 93% of Americans said they aren't currently pursuing their dream career. In what has been called the Great Resignation, roughly 1 in 3 workers is now considering leaving their job. Now, the key word there is considering. It's one thing to consider diving off the cliff. It's another thing to go ahead and go, whee, right? Almost 60% are rethinking their career, according to a separate report by personal finance site Magnify Money. Coming out of COVID, people are burned out and they want to make a change. And there is a crisis of identity that's happening. Our research has revealed just how many of us are struggling to feel inspired with our day-to-day work and how many Americans are feeling unhappy within their role right now. This is from Joanna Swash, the CEO of Moneypenny, who did the study. So I got to tell you that when I hear that 7% of the U.S. workforce is in their dream job, I go, boy, do we have some work to do. Now, what constitutes the dream job? Beyond all of the personal adjectives and descriptions that you would add to it, it's simply this. When I use what I do best, my talent, to perform work that I really love doing, passion, and I produce accomplished results that matter deeply to me. There's a connection from the result to my personal values. Then by description, that is a dream job because you will experience euphoria. I mean, it's true. Mihai Csikszentmihalyi is a famed psychologist that did 30 years of research on this. And he calls it the state of flow. And he likens this idea, he calls it a state of flow. And if you just think about that for a second, right? I like to say I got the juice. But the flow is describing this euphoric feeling. And so when we get this and we go, wait a second, this is great. It's a dream job because I'm excelling talent. It's a dream job because I'm feeling joy, passion. It's my dream job because I'm seeing and producing results that move my heart. Mission. That's the dream job. Why are so few people pursuing it? I will tell you this, because I think a lot of them don't know what it is, because they don't know how to define it. We are bringing real everyday language to this. And they don't know how to define it. They don't know what it is or how to define it so that when they see it, they go, oh, that's it. And that's the biggest problem. The second thing is they've got golden handcuffs, or shall I say rusty handcuffs. The golden handcuffs, they're in a really good career, making really good money, and it feels like they're going to be reckless by changing, too risky. And then when I say the rusty handcuffs, this is debt. Too many cars they can't pay for, over mortgaged in their house, all kinds of student loan debt, come on, credit card debt, all this, and they're trapped. Can't possibly leave. I got to work just to keep my nose above water. That's what's going on, and that's what's causing this. And folks, if that's you, I'm telling you, there's hope. I'm uniquely positioned to help you because of Ramsey Solutions' incredible baby step plan that'll get you out of that financial trap pit. And because of my 7 stages, the clear path to doing what you love, to know what it is and know how to get there. And they work together. If that's you, call, get help. Go to our website, RamseySolutions.com, KenColeman.com. Get help. Call me. Call the Ramsey Show the next time I'm on with Dave Ramsey. We'll help you. There is hope because there's help. 844-747-2577. Okay, one of the things we like to do on our Friday show is have a little bit of fun. And we like to do that by going over what is a silly little segment called Work Fails. Let's go, Joe. Okay, so this comes from Reddit, and the question is posed, what's the worst way you've seen someone quit or get fired? So this first testimony says, I worked at a restaurant as a cook, and one of the guys who just got hired to cook showed up drunk. That's fantastic. The chef fired him and told him to go home. He then proceeded to turn off the hood vent and throw a whole gallon-sized container of ground black pepper on a very hot, flat-top grill. That's interesting, Joe. The whole restaurant filled with spicy smoke and had to close for a couple hours. I've never even thought of that, but, think about it. You put all that ground pepper and just set it on fire.
When in Rome.
Whoa. You need a gas mask, I do believe, to get out of that restaurant. Second, I worked at a pizza place in Tallahassee. The chef was real fed up with his pay and the heat. And during the middle of a Friday night shift, he just went out to the back of the restaurant, pulled a ladder against a fence, and hopped over it without telling anyone. Feeling like your work is a prison sentence, it takes on new meaning now with this guy. Literally walks out of the kitchen, throws a ladder on the fence behind the place and said, I'm out. Deuces. The waitress thought he was on a smoke break for about a half hour. He kept up his vengeance by calling the restaurant a few times a month, ordering complex requests and never coming to pick them up. Oh, boy, that's sour. Next. Back when I was a manager at a fast food restaurant, we hired this 16-year-old girl. On her first shift, we asked her to change the bags in the garbage can. She replied, I don't do garbage. She never came back for a second shift. Well, I hope not. I'd have told her, you're right. You don't do anything except walk out this door. Skippy. Next, my colleague told everyone he had an accident and was bedridden for 2 weeks. During those 2 weeks, he uploaded his Euro trip pictures on his Facebook account. Nice. Including everyone at work and our boss who was on his Facebook page. He was let go the moment he came back. Wow. You know, David Letterman used to have this, like, I think, Stupid Criminals segment. This is unbelievably stupid. People just don't think. I mean, it's one thing to think you can get away with that if your boss and none of your coworkers are on your Facebook friends list or whatever you call it. It's another thing to know that and then do it anyway. Oh, my word. Next one, last one. Guy at our office painted "I quit" on both sides of one of the big marching band drums. Walked in the door that morning, banging it loudly with each step. Down the hall into HR. Did a 180 and back out of the office. Oh, I wish there was video of that. That's fantastic. By the way, Amanda, I know we talked about this. We have got to do that. We are going to do, I want the video. We're going to do this. So you got to remind me to get on this with the team, the video team. Caitlin, yep. We got to do this.
Absolutely.
There are some unbelievably wild videos out there on TikTok, I'm sure on all the other platforms, of people resigning and quitting. And I want to start showing some of these and reviewing these things. This will be wildly entertaining for you folks. So that's coming soon. I just went ahead and teased that. All right, good stuff. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Before I go, remember this. You matter, and you do have what it takes. Thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.